Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Bueller. In case there's some people in the school board who are seeing this in the south or in the north. And today I'm here with Miss Angela Shisheesh and her grandson Tristan. And we're here to hear a teaching or a blessing and a story from Miss Angela. Uh, Angela is of the Mushkegowuk people. She is a mother and a grandmother. She works as a translator at the Ojibwe Cree Cultural Center. She translates English into Cree and Cree into English. She has visited with many important people, dignitaries, and politicians through the course of her life. She is a person of faith. She practices a spirituality that follows the teachings and presence of Jesus, as well as the traditional practices of the Mushkegowuk people. And she's a residential school survivor. And as sort of a form of thank you for your time, I did want to give you a gift. I was in Israel 10 years ago working as a peace worker there for nonviolent peacemaking between Palestinian people and the Israeli people. And while I was there, I met a Palestinian man who made glass vases and so forth. He was a very talented man. He worked in a little shack. And then he started to make fish, and I was quite taken by the fish. And so I bought some of the fish that he had made as he was blowing the glass. And to me, fish is a symbol of peace and prayer. And so I just wanted to give you this gift today.
Wow. It's a very nice.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It comes from the biblical city of Hebron.
Goodness, that's special. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll
And thank
leave
you
it
for
here.
your time, too.
Yeah. So, what did you?
So you have had a very rich life with a lot of experiences, and you are visiting today with students who are coming from a variety of backgrounds, in many cases from a variety of cultural backgrounds from around the world. We have students at O'Gorman from many places, and we have staff members as well from many places. So I guess as our schools move forward, one important question is, how can schools and students and staff members practice reconciliation? That's one thing that I guess is front and center for me.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to give you exactly. I'm just going to say exactly how I feel towards other cultures around the world, the people, you know, the their backgrounds and all that. For instance, the white man, the Chinese people, and the colored people, all different international in different cultures across the land. The way I look at it, I never looked at the person, their appearances, you know, their appearances as we are, as human beings. It's the structure, the way the Creator had created everybody. So I have no right to judge anyone. The way they look, the way they live, the way they talk, the way their beliefs are. Because knowing that every one of us have a way of our ritual stuff that we do when our faith, when we present ourselves to God, Jesus, the Lord, the Creator. And I've never have no right to judge anyone how they do their things, because knowing that this is how they feel comfortable, this is how they know best way to accommodate with the spirit connection with the Creator. For us as Anishinaabe people, the indigenous people, and but I will translate what I had said first. I forgot to put my language first. Niina viina messuege koan kaisi tuuttamaan kaisi tapuintamaan. Eikä ei matchino kuenahan kaittaskaaneeset messujotettaskaaneesuunoinahan. Kaisi tuutta heemistiget kaisi tapuintamat kisemantua. Mona niina ne kaskehtaan. He kuitenkaan ei tuottaisi siittoja mona. Saakutsa kuisemman maattasu. Ei mahat kaustapa maattaset kiisako haihtaanse. Ja kun maakaa auennehan kamatsenoa tuitsenoa kawi aattavennamaat kaisinaakkoset kaikisuurhanse kisemantua. And then what I'm about to tell you is to teach you a little bit about the creation. When God created, the Creator created us. We cannot make fun of who they are, the way they look, because they were created by the Spirit. Ja kun mä niin kaikesteen tämän, hinnin nuomak, tänne snaakuset poko. Eikä nuopa mä keikesken tämän kesemmän tuikipakittana iskutteenu. Ei saaka haatanne he kaikki, jos aattamme saakesti mä chiihtoiteen, mä toinahan kiapit kesemmän tuossa aika heu kiapit peheun tahtaa kaikki sekaan. Kitsipee juonnes kääntse, kitsipee sen tuopa makot. And for me, anyone that has been created, anybody at all, I don't look at that person, what they look like, what the backgrounds they're from, what nationality they are. I look at that person because he was created by the Creator, God we call him. He was created by him. And therefore, Creator had put a special flame in their hearts, in the hearts of every mankind. He put that love there, that flame that's burning in the heart of everyone. And that's why I can never condemn anyone, to call them, this is who you are. No. Because no matter what, if that person is all buried with all kinds of problems, the problems that he has, the mistakes that he committed, Creator is already there waiting for his child to unveil themselves, to come to him for a betterment of life. He kun meni kakanopahtamaan tahtaa kaikisekak. He kun mä kivisi hemmettäkokin no. Kaikeskan hamas vieknestä, kaikeskan hamakiek. Eikä viskat. Kitsi aattavenne mekovennahan. He aattavenne maattavennnahan viitsenne no. Aattavenne me kaikki jos se hekot. Tän temäkä kihti ja he aattavenne matama. He kun sääni pistesko sääni kesemmän tuomassa vennahan. Kekoamassa kaikki jos sitä kesemmän toihtaavanta. And for you children, the children that are going to school and the teachers, everyone that works in the education system, this is what I want to encourage you for a betterment of life, to teach, never to look down on the other individual who's got a different background and all that. Because if you do that, as if you brush that person away, that's exactly how you brush the Creator, God. So you're lost when you do that, when you brush when you condemn other people the way they are, make fun of them. That's exactly what you're doing to your Creator. Because everything that He touches, what He created, it has the Spirit with that. Even all the trees that you see, everything around you, there's a Spirit in there from God. He's the one that created. So, he kwanama kawishi hemetakok. Machiga Kawami Kiki Kiskamahamassian Kiskamahamato Gamawahiutinagayan Ashiki Kate Pinagatin the Yemehaven Machimanto and Meno Tatoskil Nitono Monamaga. And I'm gonna say a little bit about as a student from the residential school. Yes, I was taken away from home at 7.5 years old they put me in the institution of the residential school. And this is where I lost everything. Everything was just pulled away from me. You know, they took everything what I believe and they gave me a new teaching which I did not understand what was. The things that I learned at home, the spirituality, I was told that was a devil's work. So from that moment, just to be to continue on, I'll say it in English because I don't want to take too much. Somebody like the stuff that you guys use. Just because they put me there, everyone, every Aboriginal person you see across the land, this is what they had experienced. Once you go into that residential school, you would think that they were going to teach you all kinds of good stuff and all that, eh? But it was full of torture, unhealthy situations, no love in there, but just like a brick. Everybody seems to have no compassion to anyone, not like the way you did from home. Every morning when you get up, your parents taught you, wake up, my child, another day. Give thanks to the person that created us. So we will have a very wonderful stuff during as we go in our journey for the day. This is what they taught us at home. But here, there's another language. They said, Benedicamos Domino, when we said Deo Gracias, and I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know. We repeat that because we were told to say it, but after I knew that it was Latin, it was not another language. So we got up, dressed, we go to church, and then we were made to stand in line. Not a word from anybody. If you say something, there's your punishment for everyone. That's every morning, 5:30 in the morning. We go the same procedure every day. And there was no happy time, but scary, very scary. For me, anyways, because I was very, as a child, I was very humble. Always tried to respect other people. Because I got the teaching already that was given to me as a child, always to respect everybody, never to go say me first or you stay. No, humble. To be humble is the one that my parents taught me. Always humble yourself. Don't ever go, I'll do that, I'm smarter than you are. No. That wasn't the teaching that we were, but to respect other people. And this is the most important thing, I'm telling you. Even though I went through the residential school, the years that I've been there were some good times. There were some really horrible times. But if I didn't go to that school, yes, I would have never mastered what I do in life today. That's one thing that a good thing that came out from it's learning the white man's language. And I think in general, to generalize everything, I think the indigenous people really respect the white man's way, the language, and everything, even though there was a big block in front of them that they could not understand the meaning of a different culture, but yet they have that humbleness to respect others because the teaching that they follow is the teaching of the natural law, they call it. You know, it's all about who you are. Every teaching you get, every teaching you teach your children, it comes from naturally. It's not a man-made law, but it comes naturally to you. How you observe all the creation that surrounds you, the animals and all that. If we didn't have no laws in our time, I don't think we would ever survive what went on in the history long time ago, and yet everybody survived. The most important thing that they had was spiritualism. Every morning, night, or if they get if they get a water in a cup of water, they give thanks. And this is what we learn at school, at the resident coming back again. Even though it was hard for us, like the things that they taught us, the things they tried to convert us with their way of life, it was difficult. If you made a mistake, you get punished by it. If you use the language that you grew up with, you get punished for that. And no wonder today you see a lot of indigenous people who are lost. You see a lot of indigenous people, on the street, homelessness. There's big time for that for the Aboriginals across the land. The suicides, that's where it's originated from. It's from that residential school. Because when you're in there, you got robbed, you're stripped from your own beliefs. Everything was stripped apart from you. That you don't have nothing anymore, you don't feel anything anymore. That's how I felt. I didn't believe who I was, never believed what I see, never believed, am I supposed to do that? But I did it anyways, even though I did not believe in anything. So, by talking this way, when they talk about the truth in reconciliation, for me, truth and reconciliation, it's dead for me. That's how I felt. The reason I felt that way up to this day today, I fought so hard going to court to speak on behalf of my sisters and brothers who didn't have no voice, who were so afraid to speak up for their own rights, the ones that were at the residential school. I went in anyways, knowing that it'll be like from the government, people will criticize me that judge himself or criticize me, the crown and all that, there was my lawyer sitting beside me. But I went in anyways. As a humble person, I said to myself, if they give me criticism the way I am, why I come to court, they can say anything they want. It may be some hurtful stuff they will say, but it's okay. That's not how I felt while I was in their institution of education. They call that the school. But being there, it was just like when you compare about the way you treat your animals or pets, it's beyond that. No, I don't know if I should bring this up, but there was a lot of sexual abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, among other things. The physical abuse that I got from there was, you see my hand here? That's what they did to me. They broke this little finger because I could not play piano. I used to hit the wrong keys, and that's what they did to me. And when I couldn't eat, because the stuff that they fed us in the morning, I could not eat. I got sick on my bowl. And what they did, take the spoon and give me that vomit, and for me to eat it. And not only me, but I seen other children being treated like that. And that's why I said it's beyond. It's beyond what the way you would treat something. I don't think anybody ever forced their own dogs or cats or any other animals they love to force them to eat something. But this is how we were treated. Indigenous children. Everything was robbed away from us. So, how are we supposed to feel as a person? As an individual, how are we supposed to feel worthy in front of all people? But I mastered that fear. I went back to school. I went to university to relearn about my history, to relearn the native studies, and I managed to go through that. I managed to finish what I had learned from the university, and I respect that. I respect everything what I learned from my professors and all that. And then that's when it slowly narrowed down everything what I went through. I guess they thought I wasn't worthy of anything, but they tried to bring me the openness the way they thought their life was worthy. And that's the biggest mistake they ever made. To change somebody from who you are to come into another life, it's a mistake. You're breaking that linkage, how you respect the creation, you respect your own way of life. That's the way I had interpreted. So, as a young child growing up in my family, my mother, I had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. We were just 5. Every morning when we wake up, Like my parents are already Christianized with the Catholic Church. And this is how we were brought up. In the morning we get up, we sign at the cross. Yes, this is how our parents brought us up as children. Sunday was the teaching of the Bible. My father used to call it a big book. Lots of information there, that's what he used to call it. And this is where I learned how to read and write in syllabics of my father's teaching. I did not really learn it from the school. You know, I learned how to read and write in English from the school. Yes, thank you for that. And but I was not allowed, never allowed to use my language in a classroom setting or inside the recreation rooms. But outside we can use our language. Outside we did when we play. But that routine was steady, steady, steady till you become a teenager. I was, like I said, 7.5 years old. I became a teenager in school, losing everything what I was supposed to learn from a family circle, the teaching. But I did not lose my language. I did not lose my language, but I lost my identity, the culture, values, that's what I lost while I was there. And that's what happened to all the people that went through that system. Because, when you skin an animal, that's exactly how we feel, everything. Whatever we went in a school system, it was not worth it for us to wear these clothes, even though it's an ordinary clothes. And our hairs were all cut. I used to have a beautiful long hair when I first went in. My mother braided so nicely every morning. There is a thing they said, when you braid your hair, that represent our mother, the earth. The beautiful trees and the flowers, the grass you see, those are our hair, our mother, where we walk every day. We walk every day on the ground. And that's what my mother used to say, I have to make your hair looks nice. Really comb it nicely. When I walked into that school, there's a big scissor that they gave me and cut my hair. Just like the way they wear their hair, those rainbow forest people. You must have read the history of those. Like around it, that's how my hair was. Next thing, a big spray full of kerosene, and they come and spread it on our heads, just in case if we have fleas, So there's a big cup, Some of you might have seen that iron horse. When they first went in, they went into that tub. But I don't know what they put that in to use the solution, but it was burning. That's what we encountered when we first headed in. When I first went in, everything was strange for me. Those nuns they wear, I could not understand, could not recognize. How come they were dressed like that? 7.5 years old, you don't really, you still are scared, Like
Yeah.
you're still feeling scared. You still feel strange. And our surrounding, no more mommy, no more my dad, nobody to love me. Even though I was with my oldest sister, she was taken away elsewhere in the other room. So I felt kind of lost, just like this fish sitting here. That's all I can say for now for that, right now. But I just want to encourage everyone, the students and all that, about that truth and reconciliation. Truth is when you really mean something to somebody. You know, I will respect you, forgive you, you know, for what I did wrong to you. Let's reconcile for us to be able to live harmoniously, to, to respect others. That's my understanding about the reconciliation. To be able to reconcile, for us to work everything the way we want it, we have to put that aside and move on. You know, the forgiveness have to have the real meaning for hurting each other, to be able to reconcile so everything will work out the way we want. That's the only way it's going to work. We have so many issues in our life, so many things happen in our world. There's all kinds of stuff that's happening today. Lost souls. You know, you see so many homelessness people, so many suicides, especially in the Aboriginal world. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to express their feeling. They need help. You know, when you see a drunken person on the street, it's just like when he was a child. He grew up in a very, very full of humbleness in his home, full of happiness. He was able to do everything. He was able to learn how to sing and dance. I mean, drumming is the way of our culture. When you hear somebody drumming, you don't understand how he sounded. Only the spirit world understand. When someone you see dancing, it's not a show. It's not. It's not the show that you know. There's a meaning there when somebody dances. Every step they take, you know, when they're dancing in a powwow, there's a meaning of those steps. You're dancing, you're sacrificing in the sweat for your brothers and sisters across the land who are having a hard time. Because when you see a drunken person laying down or walking around, he's lost. He cannot dance anymore, he cannot sing anymore, because he's full of hatred. Because he doesn't feel like as if he's worthy of anything. You see so many, it's so sad when I know my own kind of people, the way they are when I see them on the street. But I understand beyond that it's not his or her fault why his life is like that. So let's keep that in mind when you talk about truth and reconciliation. That's the only way it's going to work. If you're so sincere to say, let's work together, forgive each other, to be able to reconcile. That's my definition for that, for me. Jamigas.
Thank you, Angela Nigovich. It's always an honor to hear you speak and to share some of your story with me and now with others. And it'll be something that I treasure very much and am careful to share with others as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
it needs It needs that. It needs for the future generation to know
Yeah.
what the Aboriginal people went through.
Yeah.
You know,
You're-
it's
oh, sorry.
it's very, very hard to understand. Once I was there, and then I tried to be honest, and I'm very glad I did that. Look what I had accomplished through my daughter, the very smart young man beside me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Life
Yeah.
continues.
Yeah, life continues on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Be rich.
Mhm.
Thank you.